billion were wiped out. We are back to the market cap from 1 year ago? Yes. Now, after the first rebounds, the market cap is where it was 1 year ago. Don't get me wrong, the situation is still extremely volatile and nobody can know for sure what will happen when the new items are unlocked or where the prices will settle in the future. But there is a lot that we do know. There is a lot of actual data that I can show you so you can understand why me or other traders did not join the panic sale. So let's look at first, what did I do as a professional full-time trader and how did I feel in the situation with over 250,000 US dollars in skins? Second, why I am confident that the market will stabilize in the long run and why the doom crash everybody expects when the items get tradable on the 30th of October will not be as heavy as people think. And last, what is important to know and do right now. Let's start simple. You know, I started my business as a full-time Counter-Strike trader and somehow later YouTuber with the idea it can be over any day. Ride this wave until it lasts, be careful and have fun. And most of this worked out pretty well. Even when it got serious, as I live in Austria, trading skins full-time is not easy. I think I'm one of the only traders in Europe that has a registered company and pays actual tax. So I spent a lot of time, money and nerves on lawyers, tax consultants, founding of a company with 3 employees, meanwhile getting banned 2 times and much more. But I always had fun. Not with the ban though. And I saw everything here more as a game than an actual job. And very importantly, I wanted to be safe. It is not a secret that you can earn a good amount of money as a full-time and known Counter-Strike skin trader. But it is also very stressing and, as we see right now, a very risky business where you are basically at the mercy of, in this case, Valve. And I am pretty proud how I handled it over the last years, as I went in with the safe route in most of my decisions. And pretty much always try to warn you guys here on YouTube that skins are not a 100% safe and easy money printing machine. They have loss, they are taxable, and there are big risks. The only of my own rules that I sadly broke is that I bought too many skins. You know, trading works with percentages. You don't make like a flat 10 euro on every trade, you make like 5% or maybe 10%. So the higher your budget, the more money you can make. And with how competitive, especially cash trading has become, and you have to compete with your expensive tax-paying Austrian company against some guy in, I don't know, Dubai, I was tempted to spend a bit more than I was ready to risk. So I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 days have been a little bit hard mentally. Looking at current prices, I am down around 100,000 euros, but this is a risk that I was aware of. And I even made a video last week talking about that, and people flamed me for spreading random panic. Haha, die Tische haben sich gedreht. I can just join Sippel's Twitter post here, which basically stated the same thing. And in the end, I know that I will be alright. Prices will stabilize somewhere and I will be back trading like before. And if you enjoy skins and trading as much as I do, you might want to join the let's ride this wave with fun, but maybe be more aware of the risks involved. Enough from me. What did I do with my skins when I saw the prices plummet? Basically, not a lot. I am a trader. Of course, I lose value on the items I have when the prices go down, and I gain when they go up. But the profit I make is not bound to any of that. And I have been trading since 2015, where nobody even knew that a $1 billion market is possible with virtual items. So I kept all the items I had listed for their old prices, and I will wait until the dust and the prices settles a bit so I can start trading again. So yes, hit me up when you want to sell your skins. I will be back buying skins starting most likely on the 30th of October. On the second day of the crash, I saw that the market was panicking a lot, which was against anything reasonable. So I bought 2 butterfly fades, 2 pyramid fades and a flip knife tiger tooth on Upin, and they already all doubled in price again, now 1 day later. Why I was so confident when buying those and why I'm confident that the market will recover in the long run, maybe recover is the wrong word, let's just call it stabilize, is this. Before I start here, be aware that this is just my take on this topic, because a lot of things here are speculative, we cannot know these things for sure. Ask other people for their opinion and make up your own mind. You know, the update was very big, yes, they even featured retakes. Haha. But if you look at the numbers for just 1 second, you will see that it is not 80% price decrease big. There are many models and estimates to see how many new golds will be added to the market, and even if every trade-upable red is used to make golds, which is impossible of course, this would only double their supply. So looking at the prices and volume, the real used amount of these reds is most likely around 30 to 60%. Shout out to GamerPay CEO for this nice spreadsheet, which would result in the skins going down by a similar amount. Take an example with real numbers on day 3 of the update, there are a total of 6,849 Karambit Fates. Maybe let's round it up to 7,000. Only 57 of them were crafted. Of course, there are some that are also not registered, but that's only around 1% that are more in volume now. Looking at the markets, there are 761 listed at the market right now. So even if everybody of these new crafted Karambits gets quick sold, their supply only increases by 10%. Prices may take another small dump, most likely yes, but it is mathematically, there's basically no way that this update changes prices like it did for the last 2 days. And it's way more likely that over time we end up with these new golds that can be crafted being like 30 to 60% cheaper than they were. Also be aware that most markets also count in potential. So when there is this big doomsday impending, when the prices should crash or even go up, this already affects the price in the days leading up to it. Because there are many people right now, when the update dropped, that were like, yo, I sell my skin right now, because in 7 days the price will further crash. Even though some YouTubers make a big doomsday out of it, I don't think the prices will crash for more than 1 week. But only time will tell. What is more important and the driving factor of this crash? Emotions and Chinese. Emotions is what really led this crash. In the 10 years I am trading CS2 skins, there has been at least 5 events that people called the end of skins. And it was followed by people quitting the market forever just to contact me 2 months later to buy skins. China is a really big part of that. Due to the country being very limited, CS2 skins are one of the few ways to invest money there. And looking at the nearly 50% price difference between Chinese and Western markets we saw on these 2 days, we see how much power, money and items they have. So I think in general it didn't really matter which fundamental change to the economy Valve released. The market was in such a big bubble and only going up for years that anything would have sent the market spiraling. And the same thing will determine the future. Will people gain trust back into the market? How much will they invest into it? Will Valve release similar update to this one? Because in the last few months they really had some weird updates. So I think these more human factors will influence the future way more than a higher supply of golds. Number 3, last point. What's the most important thing you should know and do right now? The most important thing you should do right now is to check on yourself and your friends affected by this crash. Some of you might like the update. Cheaper knives, I totally understand, and I think this is actually a good thing. Some will hate it, and most likely most of you have lost some money and confidence over the last days. But please, your mental health is way more important than money or pixels. So if you need help, please talk to someone. I can tell you I did that a lot too. For anything else, nobody, and I mean nobody, please stop asking me, can predict where the prices will go. We can just have opinions based on facts, experience or data we have available. So if you are not sure what your next move with skin should be, sell, buy or hodl, gather information, gather facts, gather opinions, make up your own mind, be aware of the risks, but also the potential this involves, and go. I am very confident that we will have a new normal in around 3 to 4 weeks. And people will be spending money on pixels like they always did. The only thing I am generally afraid of is Valve. In the end, they could always drop updates like this and the market can always react like this. And this will just lower the trust in the market, which can lead to crashes like this. So yeah, what do you think about the update? What do you think about the market crash? Leave your opinion down below. Maybe it helps somebody else. Please be kind to yourself and careful. I am Neon and I'll see you guys in the next one.